Hello and welcome to X and Y Gaming Casually Competitive. And in today's discussion video, I have for you something that has been cropping up all over like the Facebook Yu-Gi-Oh pages, right? And first of all, this is not even scripted. I'm 100% off the cuffing this, but the whole thing is this meme about you wouldn't last a minute in the street duelist this, and street duels that. And now people are like, it's a meme. Like it's just like a copy pasta thing. Like, you know, what the did you say to me? How have you know that I'm the top of my class of, you know, whatever that one is. It's just a meme. It's a meme. It's a funny joke. Ha ha ha. That's it. So, but people are genuinely confused and somehow seem to think that, oh, it's like, yeah, we got our official bona fide Master Duel 5 Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. We got our Yu-Gi-Oh Speed Duel tournaments. And nowadays we got our Yu-Gi-Oh Street Duel tournaments. Like, the idea of this entire hierarchy of duels for a card game is absolutely beautiful, and I love it. But, so people, they really don't know. They actually don't know. Or they're just playing for the laughs because they love getting engagement. I don't know which one yet, but if it is that one, well, here you go. Here's this video. But a street duel, it's not real, but it totally is actually. So here's the deal. Let's say you're just playing casually with your friends. Now chances are 9 times out of 10, these are your friends. Both of you have understanding for each other and they care for each other. And when one of you, I mean, you're playing a game together, right? And one of you goes, oh, mate, that's not the way you do that. Actually, here's how this works, because that's the way the rules are laid out, because the game has rules. And you're supposed to play the game by those rules. That's like the whole point of having the rules in the game, so you play it properly. And that's fine. And usually, 9 times out of 10, you can just be like, oh yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, I should play. This is how it's supposed to work. You're right. I'm sorry. That's wrong. That's silly. I'm sorry. And then you learn, and you move forward from that. So, in a street duel, quote unquote, a street duel, in this case, would be essentially not necessarily your friend, not necessarily your enemy, not someone you're like, I hate this guy. Okay, it's not that bad, but you're like, I'm at a restaurant with my girl and my buddy, and the guy's like, oh yeah, I would like to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe I should see you play a game first. And you're like, alright, bet, I got you, fam. And then so it just so happens that there's people a few tables down also playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So you're like, hey, check this out. We'll go hang over there for a second, do like a game or two, and then come eat our food. Dishes should probably be done by now because we hadn't even ordered yet. We just got there, and so it's like, yeah, okay. So we go over there, we sit down, and we play, and it's me and this guy who it was already there. I'm using his Red Eyes deck, and my buddy's watching me. And my girl's just, I mean, she's just on her phone. She doesn't care. But, and so, what happens is, I'm playing Red Eyes deck. My Red Eyes is in the graveyard. One of, I presume there's more than one, but I don't know. This guy activates a spell card. Here's the problem. I don't actually know what spell card it is, and to this day, I feel bad for not remembering. It was essentially Monster Reborn, but it was not Monster Reborn. The fact of the matter is, the spell card goes and lets them special summon a monster from the opponent's graveyard, presumably, because that's what he was trying to do. And so, he activates a spell card, and as part of it, he chooses, I don't know if it actually targeted specifically or not, probably not, because it wasn't on the field, but he made his selection on activation of Red Eyes. And I'm like, oh, okay, well then I'll just activate my Red Eye Spirit Trap card, which will summon it onto my field, and then you won't get an effect. Which is how it's supposed to happen. You activate your spell card that revives a monster, your opponent activates in response to that a card or effect that would interrupt that play in one way, in this case summoning the monster that you chose to their field, and it resolves in reverse order. So your effect happens first, getting your monster on board, and then your opponent's effect would happen where nothing happens because it's not there anymore. That guy didn't get the memo, even when I explained it to him. And he's like, oh, you moved Red Eyes. Well, then I'll just summon this instead. And it's like, my guy, that's not how this works. You know, chains and resolutions and all that. And he's like, well, no, that's what the spell card said. I even asked him, like, I tried being just as on point as possible, where it was like, show me the exact line of text on that card that says when the play gets interrupted, make a new target. And something like that. And I'm pretty sure he said something like, well, it doesn't say target. I'm like, oh my God, I can't. I can't. Maybe, and again, it's probably just a meme. It's just a joke. Just some copy pasta, ha ha ha. But if anything were ever to be considered a street duel, it would absolutely be that. Where it's not even a matter of winning or losing, because if I recall correctly, in that 2-on-2, we ended up winning anyways. It didn't matter. But it still begs the question, why are you playing the game if you're not going to play by the rules? It goes back to the whole, playing with your friends thing. If you're going to be like, no, we should play with this special type of ruling or a house rule, if you will. Like, whatever it is, 9 times out of 10, you're both going to know that it's happening, and you're both going to agreed on that before even going to the game. You're going to know well in advance that this is a thing that's happening. And when you sit down and play a game with predetermined rules and a predetermined this is how it goes type of style with a stranger, no less, you would just pray to the gaming gods that this person actually knows how to play the game, right? And I mean that in the most every sense of the phrase. Like, if you were like, oh man, I love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And someone was like, yeah, that game's great, and you get down and you sit down and you start shuffling the cards together, and you sit there and you draw your 5 cards, you're looking at your opponent like, oh, what's going on? He's like, oh, I just like the game, I've never played, I have no idea what I'm doing, I have no idea what any of the text on any of the cards means. Like, that would be stupid, that would be infuriating. Maybe not infuriating, maybe it's a chance to teach someone, but whatever. Like, I don't know, it's just, it is extremely disheartening to be like, yes, here is a game, it's a card game, it might be a little convoluted at times, and there is a very vast amount of cards to pull from. It's not like Magic or whatever where they just rotate cards out every time. There's a ban list, right? There's limited and all that, but 9 times out of 10, if a card was introduced around day 1, it's still probably playable today. Maybe not good, but you can still put it in a deck. But I digress. At the end of the day, again, you would at least hope the person knows how to play. And unfortunately for me, in that day, in that situation, and in that street duel, that guy just didn't. But hey, that's it for this story time discussion. I didn't necessarily call it a story time, but hey, it is now. Life is what you make of it, and so is this video that I'm making to share with you. And I really hope you enjoyed it in some capacity, and please, for the love of God, use protection during all of your street duels. I'm talking about sleeves.